My guest is the founder of Agrihouse Foundation and Agrihouse Communication, and she has over 17 years of experience in the communications field. Please welcome Alberta. Oh man, I wish I had a live studio audience to clap for you, Alberta. You have come from far. Hey, describe your journey, Alberta. It's extraordinary. Describe it.
So, thank you very much, Anita, and thank you for having me. I started basically trying to find my path in the industry, trying to create a niche for myself, and that's basically how my journey began. After school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, whether I wanted to go into PR or whether I wanted to do journalism.
But you studied communications,
yes.
You studied journalism.
Yes, I did, and I did a bit of project management as well. So after service, I really worked in the communications industry. And then when I wanted to find a path for myself, that is when the challenges began. Because there were key people in the industry like you, very pronounced and prominent people. So it was a bit of a challenge for some of us to really find a path.
Oh, no, that's a heartbreaker.
No.
Hang on a second. No. What would people like me do to stop you from thriving?
No, not like that.
Okay.
Not like that, but being new entrants in the industry, that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah,
no,
so it's difficult to find
your
footing. I understand.
Exactly.
Oh.
But you were those that we were looking up to, honestly.
Yeah.
We looked up to you a lot. And so I started working with InFocus, doing the National Food and Agri Show. And then I realized that I had more passion for agriculture, even though I've not studied agriculture. So I really tried to find my space, and it's something that I thought about a lot. I had feedback from my parents. Nana, are you doing the right thing? Why don't you find a seat at the table where you have your monthly salary
your
and
income,
exactly.
You're sheltered, it's secure.
Exactly. But I just fell in love with the agric industry, and I tried to create a niche. So I was looking at the whole value chain. Can I go into production, like midwife is into? Can I go into processing? Can I go into packaging? Can I go into marketing? Or can I use what I studied to create value for the industry? And I realized that possibly is the best thing to do. How can I find or create my own niche? I realized at the tail end of the value chain, there were interventional projects, but there were little to do with communications. And that is how come I started Agrihouse Foundation. And then I realized that I was looking for someone to look up to within that space. There were basically few youth who were there. So I said, no, there needs to be a conversation or a drive to attract the youth into agriculture. And that is when I had been in the space also for a while, working on the National Food and Agri Show. So I had met smallholder farmers. I had met women in farming. I had met few youth in the industry. So I started with interventional projects, how we could drive the conversation around youth in agriculture, around women in agriculture, smallholder farmers. How can we create that needed market linkages for them, and how can we create a space and promote job creation within the animal agriculture industry? And that is when I started all my initiatives that centered on the youth. So every year at Agrihouse, we have 4 major projects. We have one, and that is what we just finished yesterday. We bring all the, Ghana has 7 agri colleges, and it's sometimes sad that some of the institutions that birth some of our key leaders, like Swansea Farm Institute, presently have only 7 students, which means that there is a lot of, it's sad. And you go
disconnect.
Exactly, you go to Fair River, few students, you go to Ohio, Agri College, you go to Kwadaso, you go to Ejura, you go to UDS, only few people offering Agric, and we want to go to Damango and all over. So we try to, every year, identify students who were really passionate about agriculture, camp them for a week, bring mentors in across the country, and then we mentor them. But we you know, and it's something that you should experience.
I want to experience it. I mean, I'm just getting excited.
Exactly. So
Really?
they ended the camp only yesterday, and they've all gone back, and it's so fulfilling. It's so impactful, and I mean, I find a lot of satisfaction in transferring knowledge to these people. And we realize that most of them have exciting ideas. So 3 years of doing it, we realize that we won't always get funding. So whatever we raise from our projects in the year, we save some, and then we get them to bring out their business ideas, and then we give them all seed money to go back to school, come back the following year, what have they done, and how can we support them to scale it up. So it's very exciting, I mean, and very fulfilling for us at Agrihouse.
Alberta, Nana Echan. Wow. I mean, talk about somebody who is able to convert something they studied into something that really is imperative in the direction in which the entire nation is going. Because you know what? They say the future is agriculture.
Yeah.
And you have just found your footing in it.
Yes.
Was it at any point in time, did you at any point in time question yourself on what you were really doing? And did that questioning almost throw you off from pursuing this newfound career in agriculture communications or project management?
Sometimes, I mean, sometimes you just want to give up. Sometimes it's just overwhelming. But I realize that at a point that is overwhelming, that is where another door is opening. So I realize that balance, because anytime I'm scared and I want to really get out, because, I mean, we are in the whole interventional space, and we realize that we are really making an impact, because now we are getting, at least our voice is being heard.
Yes.
We are getting called. We are getting some support for all our projects. And so we realize that we are making an impact. We are, and most importantly for us, or for me, it's more, I find a lot of satisfaction now. I feel so fulfilled and excited and happy to be around the smallholder farmers, to be around the students who want to get into agriculture and all that. So yeah, though it's overwhelming, and you know, sometimes you want to, you know, go into your own space, you realize that that's satisfaction is there, and just when you want to give up, another door opens, and you say, no, something is being done right, so then you continue.
Tell me about money. How do you make the kind of money that supports all these fantastic ideas you've just described?
Okay, so...
And I like that you're answering it with a smile on your face.
Thank you, Anita. So it wasn't very easy when we started.
I can imagine.
And I know if you believe in your dreams and you believed in driving it, even your own money at the bank, you would invest in it.
Yeah.
And then I realized that I don't have to wait and give my proposal to a ministry to wait for funding for it. Oh. So I started by myself. I just knew that I was doing something right, or I might be doing something right. And then I just really wanted to try and push it. So with my own little investment, sometimes I can't even pay myself. I have to pay my team. And then we started, you know, getting the voice or being heard like we needed, like this platform. And then we got how the development partners, the corporate institutions realized that they could align with our project. So for our Women in Agric project, that we go around the district showcasing women who are doing extremely well in the value chain. We got Canada to support us, and every year for our market linkage program that we bring the farmers from the northern region to meet with the buyers. We get development partners, Yara and Co, to support us. And for the youth program that we've been doing for 3 years, this year we got ADB to fully buy into the concept. So it's exactly. So I think that we just have to not give up on our dreams. We just have to drive it with a passion. The key is to drive it with passion. And then study by study, I think that the right people who believe in your dreams would, and who want to align with their CSR or their interventional projects, will just buy into it.
They find you.
Yeah.
I love this show. This show is not just about, you know, the women who seem to be making, it's about the women who are making change. And I love that people like you, young women like you know, are really looking in the face of very little, but creating this world and wealth of astronomically grand changes, you know, and particularly in our youth, because a lot of young people are not interested in farming.
It's true, but you see, it's It's a direction that, yes, because for instance, when I began to appreciate agriculture well, when I realized that we can all play a role in the value chain. We can't all be farmers, but you can add value by processing. Yeah. We can use videography, photography to focus on agric photography and videography. We can use our IT skills to develop websites for farmers who are trying to link markets now. So we all can play a role, but it's just the mindset. Yeah. So the whole value chain, we are all playing a role, no matter the sector we are in. If you are in health, you can play a role. People are vaccinating animals in the industry. If you are into production, what can you do? So it's just about that mindset change. That is what we need now, and that is when I really began to appreciate the whole dynamism of agriculture.
You just schooled me. We all have a role to play.
Exactly.
After the break, we talked to Alberta about that moment, key moment, when she learned a lesson that today is guarding and guiding her. We'll be right back. Hi, my name is Anita Erskine, and there's so much I want to share with you on Anita Erskine Network. So you've got to subscribe and hit that bell button so that every single time we've got something new, you get notified. I'll see you on the other side. So many years ago, I think even now, very heartbreakingly, when you talk about farming, I mean, the reaction is, oh, you know, these are people who haven't gone to school. Very, very awkward, sad perception of the people who feed us, the people who literally help us eat our yam, our kuntumre, and whatever it is. But I've also learned something from you. Aside the fact that we need to change the way we think, you know, our culture around what farming truly is, we all need to play a role. But Alberta or Nana, in playing that key role on this value chain that you very beautifully described, where have you fallen and where have you found yourself having to quickly fix things so that you could survive?
I think that if I understand your question rightly, where
you failed.
Where I failed, okay.
I don't want to use the word failed, but no problem. Where you failed, my dear.
And I think that I won't see anything as a failure on my path, Anita. I think that in those, I see challenges. And in those moments of challenges, as I said, I try to challenge myself and rise up to exactly. But the key is that I'm working with different value chain actors. I'm working with the youth. I'm working with women. I'm working with people in the animal agriculture industry. I'm working with smallholder farmers. And so all have different, you know, peculiar, I won't call it challenge or like identities that you have to, you know, gradually conform to when you begin to work with them. Like I was just in Nasia on Monday. Nasia is after Tamale. I went to work with about 1,500 rice parboilers. And it's these are women who are doing amazingly well, but they are illiterate. So, you know, so you find your own space. So my failures or my challenges is not really to do with money, but it's about conforming and trying to appreciate these people who are in their own, you know, peculiar role or understanding of the sector and how you can, you know, just bridge that gap and then you pick it from there. But as soon as you begin to understand these women or understand these smallholder farmers, these outgrowers, these nucleus farmers, then you just fit in perfectly. And then that is where that fulfillment and satisfaction is for me. So for me now, it's not about failure, it's not about challenges, it's about really fulfillment. How can I create, develop or initiate interventions that can meet a need and make an impact? And that is where I find myself now.
And I hear the passion coming out of your heart. I mean,
exactly.
it's now, not now, but I know you will do this for the rest of your life.
Forever. It's not about the money anymore, honestly. Like, I think we all have to get to a stage where it's not really about money, but it's about making an impact and finding that satisfaction and fulfillment. And I'm happy that in trying to find my path, I find it now, and I'm very happy.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you because when you start on a certain path that is not familiar, if you are only able to thrive, then you are a poster child for that particular trial.
Exactly.
And most importantly, you serve as a powerful example for those who have at least thought about it, who may have been discouraged from pursuing it.
Exactly. And then when I am asked to share these stories, I wish that it's not me. I wish I can bring a youth who have been part of our project, who have experienced the training, the mentoring and the coaching and the capacity building, competence-based training and all that. I wish I can bring a smallholder farmer. I wish I can bring a woman.
So let's do that the next time you bring them with you. Because if these are true examples of who you are, what you do, and the impact you have, then of course, I think we have to show people who is making, who is actually out there in the field.
Exactly, and their lives are being impacted, and they can smile, and they can be teary even when you are leaving them, and that is where the fulfillment is from. Yeah.
But I wish I could talk to you literally all night long. Thank you so much for everything you do, for everything you've done, for who you are, and for who you chose not to be, because you could have chosen to say, you know what, there is too much, or there are too many barriers in this whole journalism industry, so I'm just going to try and do something else. But you turn that into what it is that you're doing now. What do you call it? Communications for agriculture, or agri-communications?
Okay, so I do Agrihouse Foundation.
Agrihouse Foundation,
but because of my comms background, I realized that I met companies who wanted a bit of to do somebody to do their communications and everything. And I said, okay, this foundation is not really I'm really giving back everything. So let me try to balance it with the communications and consultancy that can feed into the foundation at a point when we don't have anything. So really, I've been focused on the foundation because that is where my heart lies. And then I really don't market the comms, but it's more of a referral as and when I get.
Market it now.
Yes, let's do, because nobody is doing it in the space. That's just something.
It's unique, and that's why you said niche, right?
Exactly.
You've created a niche for yourself.
Exactly. Nobody is doing it. I don't have any competition. I'm waiting for you.
You're waiting for me. Let me let you do what you do so well. Let me do what I do so well. But as Blisco says, all women, all united, and we can change the world. So from Blisco to you, this is just a gift to say, we really do appreciate what you do. I mean, you do it so flawlessly. Now that you've explained the kinds of challenges, not challenges, but the journey. Now that you've explained it, I think my appreciation for you and respect for you has just skyrocketed. And it's women like you who make women like me stop and think, what else can I do?
Thank you very much.
So from Blisco to you, that's the first one. And the second one, one of these days when, you just want to chill, because I know you're always in your trousers and your boots. I know that. Every single time I see you, I mean, you are like, hi, Anita, like I'm going off. So this is just for us to say, whenever you feel like letting it all loose and doing a little something, you can convert this beautiful Blisco into an outfit or use it for whatever you like. Because ultimately, we really do appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
And ultimately, we give you 100% of our seal of our approval and, I guess, support, really.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anita, I might say you are one of the people I've been looking up to for a long time. And when I was called for the interview, I was actually very scared to come, but I'm happy I came. You've made it very relaxing, and a lot of women are looking up to you. You've made us who we are now, to believe in ourselves, to say we can do it, and despite all the challenges. Thank you so much.
I promised my makeup artist I wouldn't cry today.
Oh, no.
Thank you, Alberta.
Thank you very much, Anita. Thank you.
When you do what you do, it makes what I do so easy. Because women like you do deserve not just this platform, but you deserve every opportunity for people to say thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Moments. I had to hold my breath in there. So, I've spoken to Alberta. We've had a wonderful conversation. But I always promise that not only would I use this platform to focus on women like Alberta, but also to take the cameras to the corners of the country, corners of the continent that sometimes we forget exist. And this special segment is called Shero's Highlight. Today we meet Hikmat. She's a young woman who is just shining example of resilience. And of course, she is so strong, inspiring young girls in the North to break female stereotypes. Take a look at how she does it.
My name is Kadri Hikmatu. I am a farmer and also a tractor operator. I grew up in Canvalley. I attended school at Canvalley RC Primary School, Canvalley RC Junior High School, and then went to Senior High School in Gushegu Senior High. Going to school was one of my favorites. I have 4 siblings. Being in the middle of 2 boys was so interesting. We used to do everything together, especially going to the farm. During my primary up to junior high school, I was so lazy in reading. All I liked was calculations. Because I was not interested in reading, nursing was one of the careers I chose when I was growing up. If you choose something and then the reality comes, you have to make an adjustment. So I started looking out for something that will make me happy. And one of the things was farming. When I decided to go for farming as an occupation, it was because every season my father would send us to the farm. Being involved at the younger stage made me develop more interest for farming. After my completion of school, I had the opportunity to work for Tibza Integrated Farms, which is into agriculture, basically crop production and animal rearing. Working with Tibza, my boss had the opportunity at Legon Farms that they do a 1-year practical program. So I had the opportunity, went to University of Farms, spent 1 year there. Me moving from poultry production into tractor operation, it all started after the training that I came back. I had the interest in learning with the well-trained operators, which are basically men. So I started with them. What is this? He mentions the name. What is the use of this? Then he tells me. That was the way I got to learn how to drive the tractor. Another opportunity came where it was basically training women in tractor operation, which my boss once again saw the opportunity, told me. Then I said, I'm really interested to go. And by the grace of God, I had the opportunity. I was chosen as one of the ladies to go for the first training in Adidomi Farm Institute. After the Adidomi training, when I came back, I was the only female with a license and also a certificate in operating tractor in the 5 northern regions of Ghana. Me being the first lady, I had the opportunity to go for a television interview. Videos and pictures were shown on the television, lady operating tractor. And with that, a lot of young ladies like me saw that and they were like, wow, a woman operating tractor, then I can also do it. And one of the ladies is Alas and Karima.
The first time I went to the training center, I saw my sister Ikma on television called Segani TV. How can a girl is operating a tractor? So I called my grandmother to come and see a lady who is operating a tractor. So he said that, hey, a woman is operating a tractor. And I said that, yes, I too, I'll go and look for that girl so that you teach me how to operate a tractor. One of my friends, her uncle sent her to do the tractor operation. He told me, so I applied and they picked me and give me information that I should report on these days. So I went to Adidomi Farm Institute. So we do the training on 5 weeks. So after the 5 weeks, we do the graduation and come back. So they post me to Tibza Farms. When I came here, I saw Sister Ikima here. I was happy to see her, how she was operating the tractor. He helped me a lot. First, I don't know how to operate a shell machine. So he helped me to do it. She's always encouraging me to work towards how she was doing. Having my boss support, it really helped me. Because if I had the passion, if I was hardworking, if I was everything, without his support, I wouldn't have gotten to this stage. And I believe young girls like me also have passion in different fields, but it's the support that they've not gotten. After the training, when my boss got me a tractor on my own, and then I was meant to go to industrial area to pick it with its implements. And then I sat on the tractor. The mechanics around that area were like, what are you going to do? Are you sure you can do this? You people should move away. She's a woman. I was laughing. Then I sat on the tractor. They gave me the keys
You know, when you are sitting on a machine the first time, you need to try it for some few meters to see the brakes, the steering wheel, the clutch, whether everything is okay. So he asked me to move it. When I moved it, everybody was like, wow, a woman doing this. From there, I picked it, and then when I hit the roof, people were like, this is not a woman, this is not a woman. But yet I was with my veil. I've been told several times that what I'm doing is not meant for women, that I can't do it. Surely I've done it. So what I have for young ladies is whatever passion they have, they should go in for it. One of the challenges I have faced in my career, and sometimes still face it, is that we Northerners or Ghanaians, especially the men, they find it very difficult, a woman leading them. So at work here in Tibza Integrated Farms, although we are working with those who have that perception, but with the help of our boss, things are changing. Their attitude and then their cultural attitude towards like a woman cannot lead us is now changing from somewhere to somewhere.